Rover 75 was made from 1999 to 2005 as a replacement for the Rover 600 and 800 ranges. Launched in February of 1999, it surprised everyone with its rather quaint detailing and uncanny refinement. There were 3 options to choose from: the Classic, Club or Connoisseur, each delivering comfort and sometimes pain with every mile. There was also a decent choice of engines, and even the choice of what colour leather you wanted. This meant that you could drive around with purple leather. It was cleverly designed by Richard Woolley, who quite clearly did an excellent job. The Rover 75 still looks good over 20 years since its launch back in '99. Nowadays, you can pick up a 75 for around £1,000, which I think is a bargain, bearing in mind the fact it's basically a luxury vehicle. So, whether you love or hate the 75, sit back, relax and enjoy this video. Okay, so here are the 4 brochures in question, part of a pack for the pre-facelift Rover 75. So the Rover 75 was made from 1999 to 2005 when I was born, interesting fact, but this is for the pre-facelift only, and if you want to see what that looks like, it's that car there. Doesn't that look gorgeous? So, let us have a look at what we have part of this fantastic brochure collection. First of all, we have the price list, which we'll be having a look at in a bit. Then we have the colour guide, which is really interesting. Have a look at that. And then we've got the Design Your Own Rover 75 brochure. And then we've got the main part of the brochure. It's more like a magazine, really, all about the Rover 75. And this is really nice. Let's have a look at this first. Let's have a nice flick through, because this is really nicely put together. It's got some really nice pictures in and some overly inspirational quotes. So it says here, we set out to create a car that would put the joy back into motoring. The only place to start was with a clean sheet of paper. Our motivation came from the desire to build one of the most comfortable and inspiring cars in the world. Massive claim there, and I'll leave that question up to you to answer whether they completed that. Is it the most comfortable and inspiring car in the world? No, is what I'm going to say. It's the Fiat Panda, obviously. So really nice picture in the background, very inspirational, as I say. You look at that and it'll instantly make you want that car because of the nice scenery, beach in the background. Overall, a really nice photo. And then this brochure's got a lot of massive photos in the background. It's very photo based, and it's got the little bits of info around it. So it says here, a picture of inspiration. So there we go, Rover 75. Any Rover 75, according to Rover, is a picture of inspiration. So it says, great cars are not designed by a computer. They're created in the minds of inspired designers. People who love cars. People who love driving. That's why you'll find that the Rover 75 is a driver's car first and foremost. A car that responds to you. It reintroduces the concept of motoring pleasure. And not just for you, but your passengers too. Now, the Rover 75 inside, which we'll be having a look at in a little bit, is gorgeous. It's all about the passengers quite clearly, because the interior is just astonishing. Really, really nice. So, with that, let's go on to the next page. Dynamic integrity. Wow, there's really, really bold claims by Rover here. It says, talk to leading car designers, and you'll find they all agree on one thing. Creating the stiffest possible body shell is the secret to delivering the highest standards of road holding, ride quality, interior comfort, and all-round durability. Now, it's all you can tell it's been written by an expert here. It's very, very nicely written. The photographers are quite clearly very skilled. So if you want to have a read of any others, feel free to pause and you can have a look. But I'm not going to bore people that maybe aren't interested. Although I don't see why you'd be watching this video if you weren't interested after all. The performance is played out beneath the surface. Now that's interesting, because you look at the Rover 75 and you think, it's probably just a normal car. But you could get this with a V6 after all, or if you got the MG, I believed you could have got a V8. So that's quite incredible. It was mainly as a direct rival to the likes of Jaguar, Bentley maybe, and maybe Rolls-Royce at a push, but mostly Bentley and Jaguar. And you can say with confidence it didn't really work, because obviously Rover later went bust. So that's a bit of an insight into how that actually went. So it says, Take the Rover 75 down a demanding road and you'll soon discover its dynamic abilities. Its composure comes from a sophisticated suspension design that combines responsive handling with a refined, relaxing ride. The suspension is constructed from lightweight aluminium and special high-strength steels. It's mounted on subframes, which allows us to apply the tightest tolerances and alignments to the geometry. Now, wow, it's all massive words here, very difficult to read for somebody like me who's still in school. But yeah, it's all complicated words, and it's all probably to make you go wow at the Rover 75. Because if you say Rover 75, people, well, some people at least, will probably go, oh, it's a Rover 75. But reading this brochure, it's not that at all. It gives you the impression that this is a really wonderful car, which I believe it is, but not all people do. So let's have a look at what's on the next page. Before we make you comfortable, we make you safe. Now that's a really, really lovely slogan. Let's take in for a closer look here. It shows you the structure of the Rover 75 pre-facelift, and it shows, well, just how rigid it is really. And it wants to assure customers that you will be safe when you're in a Rover 75. So it's got a hard shell. The Rover 75 stiff body provides an extremely resistant passenger compartment around which energy-absorbing zones are positioned to cushion the forces of impact. So it said, inside the cabin, a special reinforcement plate is welded across each footwell. And then it's got a load of other things that tries to tell you that this is a really safe car, which, you know, I'm not too sure about, to be honest. Probably not as safe as a Jaguar or something like that, but I may be wrong here. Let's have a look. When you want a quiet moment, just take a drive. Now, that one sentence just tells you that the Rover 75 must be quite a pleasant car to be in and quite a pleasant car to drive. I can't comment on that really because I've never actually been in a 75. It's something I'd like to do. So if you have one and you'd be willing to show me around for a YouTube review maybe, please get in contact because that would be much appreciated. Over the years, Rover cars have been famous for their interior comfort and refinement. With the design of the Rover 75 interior, we're given the concept of travelling comfort, a distinctly modern slant. We've used leather and wood, which they later say is like a superior material, wood, to give us a tangible air of solid. It's difficult to read this. It's all really, really long sentences. So with that, we'll go on to the next page because it's all very complicated. But again, as I say, I'm just walking through this, and if you want to have a look in more detail, you can just pause. So, a driver's car that passengers will enjoy. Another very inspirational, kind of cheesy quote there. And the Rover 75 interior is such a wow interior. I do believe it's one of the best of its class. It's amazing, especially in this cream leather. I know you could get it in like sort of a blue leather, which is very controversial and definitely an interesting choice. But for me, I would definitely go for this cream leather if I could find it because it's really, really nice. Really nice. So I think this is the Connoisseur pack. So it says the Connoisseur Premium Interior is fully trimmed in leather and air-conditioned with automatic temperature control. It's really lovely, okay? There's wood on the dash, leather steering wheel. It's all very simple and refined, and you can also get this with the sat-nav, which is quite cool. This opens up, a very nice touch, and you can see the other interior options. So let's show you this. So the atmosphere is always right in club. So I'm guessing this is the club trim, and this has got grey fabric. So if fabric is for you and you prefer that to leather, you can go for that as well. A bit of a more uninspiring dash, I would say. It's all a bit grey and rhinoceros spec. Definitely not as nice as the cream you get here. Let's have a look if we open this side. Let's have a look. Comfort that is a modern classic. So again, that's the same photo, I believe. But it's another inspirational quote. So this is the classic trim, and it says classic is trimmed in plain velour and is comprehensively equipped. It's a long list of interior features include a leather-covered steering wheel with axial and tilt adjustment, front centre storage with padded lid, driver's seat height and lumbar adjustment, and electric front windows with one-shot down operation. It's lovely, isn't it? Really, really lovely. It's so detailed, this. I can't help but absolutely adore it. Wood, there we go, talking about this before. Wood, one of the most advanced materials known to man. This is a really, really lovely interior. Big, massive fan of it. It's gorgeous. And this has got the sat-nav as well, which is a rare option. Only people went for that. This has got a wooden gear knob as well, and wood around the steering wheel. It looks so nice. I was showing my mum this brochure about a week ago, and she was also impressed by the interior aesthetics. It's really gorgeous. And the simplicity and classic design of these dials from the speedo and the rev counter, it's just lovely. Really simple. A clock in the middle of the dash as well. Obviously Bentley and Jaguar inspired. Really nice. The last thing you'll ever think about is what's under the bonnet, apparently. So they're obviously, again, trying to prove that it's all about the suspension setup, the comfort, and what it's like in the interior. So there we go. And I believe it goes on to what's actually under the bonnet. Yes, it does. For heavyweight performance, we've used lightweight engines. So there is the V6 that you could have got in the Rover 75. Quite a lovely engine, to be honest. And there's a little chart at the top. Try and show you this. I can try just about. You can see it. 2.5 V6. And that's really small, too small for me to read from this distance because the tripod's in the way. Although delivering more engine power is good, reducing engine weight is just as important. With the Rover 75's petrol engines, our designers have achieved both these goals. The 2.5 and 2 litre V6 engines and the 1.8 litre are all developments of Rover's award-winning K-Series and all-aluminium design that has won acclaim for its power, efficiency and very light weight. So the cylinder blocks are light enough to be lifted by one hand, something unthinkable with more traditional cast iron alternatives. Wow. So obviously Rover were quite clever with their engines, you'd think. And I believe the diesel engines in the Rover 75 were actually BMW engines. So you'll know if you watch Hubnut, Ian Seabrook, who's recently sold his Rover 75, he didn't get along with it at all. He had the diesel, and it was very hard to work on because, again, it was a BMW engine that was just plonked in. So it wasn't made to fit or anything like that. So a bit of a downside in a way. Our new automatic gearbox has 5 speeds and a 6th sense. Wow. I can't help but laugh at these little taglines because they're just hilarious. Really, really hilarious. But there we go. There's some more photos. I love the badge. Rover 75. It just looks really premium. And I think it's one of them cars. If a non-car enthusiast would see one of these on the road, you think, oh, it's a Bentley. A bit like them, I think it's the Chryslers you see. And people go, oh, it's a Bentley. No, it isn't. It's actually quite a shockingly bad Chrysler. But there we go. So, we believe in freedom of choice. That's why the Rover 75 gives you so many possibilities. Gorgeous. Blue car with blue sky. We can have a look more about the paint in a minute when we come to the designing your own Rover 75 and the paint guide. Designed to make you feel at ease, even when you're not driving. So it tells you here about the Rover Financial Services, the servicing, and Rover Assistance. So again, pause if you really want a closer look at this. Maybe you're a Rover 75 owner. If you are, do show me a Rover 75 because I'd be really interested to see it. Just tweet me or Instagram me or something at DanielCars05 and you can show me. We're coming to the end now. Rover 75, kid on his bicycle, turning around to look at, what car is that? Some sort of Audi. Oh no, he's looking at a Rover 75. You can see him, he's looking at the Rover 75 going, I wish Daddy had one of them. When you have parked the car, you'll want to glance back as you walk away. Wow. And that is Richard Woolley, who is the chief designer of the exterior. So there we go. Bit biased for him to say that, but there we go. And this is the man who I think probably owns it, and he's parked it going into his house and he's looking back. Don't blame him. It's a really wonderful car. So there we go. We're at the end of the main Rover 75 brochure. Dealer stamp is sadly not on it, so we'll have no way of looking, but oh well. So let's put this aside and let's move on, I reckon, to the Design Your Own Rover 75 brochure. This is a lot shorter, but not the shortest because the colour guide is only like 1 page long. So, life's full of choices. So is the Rover 75. So, I know there's a lot of choices in this car. Engine choices, they consist of a 2.5 litre V6, 2 litre V6, 2 litre CDT, which I believe is the BMW engine, and a 1.8 litre 16 valve. Transmission choices, you can get a 5-speed automatic or a 5-speed manual, which is quite unusual. I'd expect a car like this to have a 6-speed, but I might be wrong. Specification choices, there were 3. There was the Connoisseur, the Club, and the Classic. Nice and simple, isn't it? I do think that cars nowadays are getting awfully complicated to spec. It's just too many packs to choose from, so there we go. So, 3 levels of luxury, as I say, Classic, Club and Connoisseur. So, Classic has 6-speaker audio system with a radio cassette player. Wow, don't see that anymore. Electric front windows, heated door mirrors, and a driver and passenger front and side airbag protection. The interior is trimmed in plain velour with contrasting piping. Club has additional features like power-operated rear windows, automatic temperature control, air conditioning, and 15-inch 8-spoke contour alloy wheels. The interior is trimmed in speckle velour and is available with the personal line range of interior colours. And lastly, but not least, the Connoisseur, which is the top of the range, I think, yes it is, features an all-leather upholstery. The front seats are heated and have powered adjustment. The Connoisseur exterior is identified by chrome door mirrors and 15-inch crown multi-spoke alloy wheels, and these wheels are lovely, and so are the chrome door mirrors, the door mirror covers. They're really lovely, really lovely. Key standard features, it tells you here for the Classic SE, the Club SE, the Connoisseur, and the Connoisseur SE, so there's actually 6 to choose from. So again, you can have a look at these if you so wish. Let's move on. An opportunity for a little self-expression. Wow. So, it says here, there's the body colour, standard interior colours, and personal line interior colours. So there's more information here that you can have a look at. But yeah, there we go. There's the blue leather. And there's also green leather. That is so weird. And pink leather, sorry, purple maybe. That's really interesting, actually. I do like the weirdness of this. Rover 75, optional equipment. So there we go. There's all of the optional equipment for each pack of car. Audio equipment. Standard 6-speaker audio system is better than many of home hi-fi systems. Ooh, that's debatable, isn't it? But there we go. We'll let Rover 75 owners be the judge of that. Satellite navigation. That's really interesting, actually, because for a car from the early noughties / late 90s, that was quite groundbreaking in a way, wasn't it? Satellite navigation is an option for the Rover 75, helping you choose the best route for your journey. 2 levels of navigation systems are available, both using GPS and a CD-based map directory. Rover 75 accessories. Rover 75 offers a range of over 70 accessories to suit every lifestyle. That is amazing. So bike rack, boot rack for your picnics, wood wrapped steering wheel, nice gear knob, tow bar even, and a roof box. So many. A Rover 75 with a tow bar and a roof box, I think, looks really cool. Nice touch. Technical specification, the boring bit for some, but quite interesting people like me. I'm not going to ramble on about this because I could be here forever, but again, you can pause and you can have a look yourself. So pause now if you want to have a look. Right. We come to the end. Technical specification, again, you can pause and have a look at that if you so wish. And then that's the end of that. That's the end of the Design Your Own Rover 75. So with that, let's go on to the second to last. Let's have a look at the colour guide. This is interesting. Now, the owner of these brochures, Lewis, thank you again, spec'd his own Rover 75. I forgot how he spec'd his, but I don't know how I'd spec mine, to be honest. I don't know. There's all of these colours. I do like the copper leaf red that it comes in. I do like the Tahiti blue. I like the Damson red. I think I'd go for something like British Racing Green, just for that classical look. But let me know in the comments, which would you choose? And maybe, what are your some technical additions? You know, how would you spec your Rover 75? Let me know. And then here, last but not least, is the price list, effective from 1st of June 1999. Wow, before my time. The Rover 75 is all about giving you choice. This price list, when read in conjunction with the Rover 75 brochure, will give you a clear understanding in the wide range of engine sizes, trim levels, exterior colours and upholstery that has been made available. Once you have found the Rover 75 model that best meets your needs, then you can equip it to your preferred level. You can choose from a selection of individual options as well as special option packs, which offer enhanced value. So there we go, there's the price list for each model, the options and the option packs, and it goes on really. There's quite a lot of information jam-packed, so you can pause and have a look at that if you so wish. So there we go, let's just lay them down and we can have another little glance at them. That's really interesting brochure collection, really interesting. And if you like this Rover content, that is not it, because I've had another kind guy, by coincidence is also called Lewis, who has sent me some brochures to keep, and they are also Rover brochures, so they'll be coming in a later video, along with some more brochure videos, if you do like them, of course, because I've been eBay hunting and I bought some of my own because I've become an addict, and I do blame Lewis for that. So, again, thank you for watching. Do comment down your Rover 75 spec and how you would spec it, because it's all fun and games, isn't it, at the end of the day? Follow me on social media at Daniel Achterhuis, and I will see you in a later video. Goodbye.